right, man. Hello. Hello, hello.
Hello.
What's up, man?
Nothing much.
Nothing much. Sorry.
Well, not the best day for me, but
How
I'm gonna.
come?
But oh, my throat just feels terrible. Like I've been filling myself up with tea and allergy medicine and whatnot. It's
Oh,
just not
man.
working.
Allergic to what? Oh, that's my chair.
I think it's either me sleeping with my mouth open and breathing through,
Oh,
or just the dust outside.
oh no, man. Well, hopefully I saw you sent your message to me yesterday at like 2:30 and you said to me the other day you've been sleeping at like 5 a.m. So I hope that at the very least you're getting some decently restful sleeps over the last few
Yeah,
days.
I woke up at 10. I mean, that's pretty big for
That's
me.
not too shabby. What time did you get to sleep though?
5.
Okay. It's still only 5 hours of sleep.
I'll take it. It could be worse.
Fair
Could
enough,
be.
man. Fair enough. So,
What about you?
what about me? I did you hear my puppy story by any
Yeah,
chance?
I
Yeah.
did. Your dog's adorable.
She's so cute, man, but she is the biggest pain in the butt. I swear. She like, oh, hi Elsa. She's staring up at me there. She's so sweet, but like you leave anything for her and she's biting it. She's eating it. She will eat the other dog's food. She will grab something and run. And when she runs, she's small, so you just can't get her. And then she's like weaving her way through everything. Man, I didn't know
Yeah.
what I was signing up for when my girlfriend got this puppy, but no, I love her. I'm super grateful to have her around, but holy crap, man.
It was her idea?
Oh yeah, I mean, when we first met, her dream and her vision was 5 Pomeranians, and
Oh, shit.
oh, I know. I was like, one at a time, hun, one at a time.
5,
I know,
that,
I know.
yeah, that would give me such a huge headache.
Yeah, and I want to get a pup of my own eventually too. I really want to get a. Do you know cockapoos?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I want to get a cockapoo.
I
They're
always
so
wanted
cute.
a corgi, so I totally
Oh,
understand.
oh, that's so sweet. Did you grow up with any pets?
I had guinea pigs.
Nice. I heard
They're
guinea pigs
okay.
can smell, can't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not really. They eat like grass. They eat hay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it wasn't like that bad.
What were their names?
Oh my god, no.
What? You don't remember?
No, it was just really cringy because it was
I'm ready. What were the
uh
names?
it was Snuggles and Cuddles.
That's
And that,
great. I love
yeah, that was
that.
their name. And my dad got him for me like when I was a kid. My mom didn't know, and we like hid him from her in this really big enclosure in the garage.
Did
Oh
you
my god.
have I remember when I was in grade 7, I think we had a pet hamster in the class.
Oh yeah.
I forget what happened to it, but like the plan was to try and make like tubes running around the class that the hamster could just like run around in. Did you guys have a sweet setup for the guinea pigs that would let them just run around the room at all?
Yeah, I mean, it was in my bedroom, so I just let them out and just
Fair,
they'd run under my bed, and I got too big to get under there, so I
fair.
have to use like a little broom handle, like nudge them out.
Oh no. The worst is with hamsters because I know that hamsters have a tendency as well to escape and then like get into the walls and then eventually, unfortunately, I guess slightly morbidly, they'll just die in the walls and then end up
Yeah,
just turning into rotting carcasses. It sounds I feel so bad saying that, but it's true. These
yeah.
these freaking
I
animals, man. Hmm.
I remember in kindergarten we had snakes in class,
You
and
had
we had like this huge
snakes?
rat snake. Yeah,
You had a snake
and
in kindergarten? Oh my gosh.
yeah, it was pretty
Okay.
big.
Yeah.
Like it was like my arm length now.
Oh
But
my
we'd feed it like live rats,
oh
and
my
I guess someone said it like got out, but I think it just died. Thinking
oh
about it
my
now.
When I was in kindergarten, we actually had a pet hamster again as well, and I forget the name. Oh no, its name was Socks, and there was this one kid in
Oh,
my class named Aton, and Aton, we would each get to take the hamster home for a week, and Aton had his turn to take the hamster home, and he came to school with a fun fact for everybody that apparently when you throw hamsters in the air, they always land on their feet. And none of us really knew how to feel about that.
What the hell?
I know.
So he's just tossing a hamster
Yeah,
around all
I
day?
think so. That was his way of telling us that his way of taking care of the hamster was literally just throwing it in the air. So R.I.P. socks, R.I.P. snuggles and cuddles.
What happened to that kid? Did he grow up to be cool?
Honestly, I haven't talked to him in a super long time, but it's I think he went down from what I've heard, he went down the fairly traditional Jewish route, which is basically get married and have lots of children. And I think from what I heard of him, that was kind of the way that he went. But
gotcha.
yeah, many of those kindergarten folks, I actually reconnected with one of my old kindergarten buddies last year for a little bit, but outside of that, man, I barely even talked to the people that I was friends with in high school.
That's understandable.
Yeah, but yeah, man. So you're from Oregon originally?
I'm from Cali, but I was born in Hawaii. Yeah, California.
Born in Hawaii. Which island?
I was born on Kauai.
On Kauai? That's
Yeah.
Which one is that? I went to Kona.
It's where they filmed Jurassic Park.
Nice.
I've been to Oahu. I've only been on my birth island I think just when I was born, and I got taken off.
Fair enough. So then at what age did you move to Cali then?
Immediately.
Really?
Right when I was born, I was adopted, so my parents took me on a plane to Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
and then to California, because
Can I
my dad
ask-
traveled a lot for
Can
his
I ask
work.
what the background is in you being adopted, if that's not a too personal of a story?
Oh no, I don't really care. So from what I've been told, my mom described it as my family was from the Marshall Islands, and he said the fishermen came in and then babies came out.
Wait, what?
So, yeah. So I'm assuming that my
I
mom was
see.
like a prostitute or something. But
Gotcha. Interesting.
since the Marshall Islands were used as a bombing testing site for nuclear warheads in World War II,
Whoa.
they have free visas to go into the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And she just set up an adoption and gave birth to me in the U.S.
Wow. Man, that's crazy. So then, do you know much of your birth parents then, or not really?
Honestly, not really. I always wanted to wonder, but I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
does it really matter to me in the end?
Fair enough. And then I'm assuming, at the very least, now you've got loving parents who helped to raise you and provided for you, and now you're in Oregon. I'm hoping that from the birth moment onwards kind of went good, and adoption all good there.
Sorta.
Sorta.
Yeah, my mom's still alive.
That's good.
Let's see. She's in Thailand right now. She just decided to travel when I
wow.
moved out for the second time.
Oh wow.
I was back home for 2 years. I lived in LA for a little, and it did not go well, so I came back.
Back home because COVID?
No, I had a lot of drug problems, drug and alcohol abuse.
Fair enough. Man.
But yeah, I put myself through rehab, and
Wow.
I have my lovely girlfriend to thank for that. Or else I
beautiful.
wouldn't have done it.
That's really beautiful. I can definitely attest to that in the same way, in that kind of, before I found my girlfriend and really found myself in a healthy partnership, I was much more lost before. And it's so interesting, I guess, how kind of having somebody who can really love and support us, how it can help us find more of ourselves and help us heal through that process. That's a really beautiful thing, man. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. I mean, these last few years have been so wild and outlandish.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have believed it.
Hey, we got P's in the chat. What's up, man? How's it going?
I like P Drippy.
P Drippy's great, man. We're welcome, dude. I'm just chatting with ZAYLE here. We're having a nice conversation. So if you got anything to include, feel free to ask some questions. I'm interested though, Zale man. What led you into music? What's your background there? This is, that's the big thing as well here.
Oh yes, I do music.
Right?
I
What?
played piano forever.
Yeah.
Jazz trained. I hated classical. I was the band kid that just ditched my classical class.
Fair enough. Classical.
But I worked with choir people a lot. I did a
Nice.
composer's project where I worked with smaller orchestras, composing for them in film.
Nice.
Um,
So when did you first start playing? I think you said you're 23 now?
yeah, I'm 23 now.
Yeah.
I feel so old.
You're telling me, man. I'm 26. My girlfriend is 33.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. There's
We're
the
getting up there.
slowly but surely. I like it though. I always knew that it was gonna be harder to get people to take me seriously at a younger age. So at the very least, I like to, to make the most of the age. That's for sure.
That's so true.
Yeah, it's a world of, I don't know. It doesn't matter how smart you are or how good your ideas are. If you're considered to be too young in some industries, people see you and just reject you right away, and it's so insane. Yeah, not a fan.
Me either.
Yeah, but
Ageism.
ageism. Yeah, enough. Down with the ageism. I'm all for it. So then, whenabouts did you start playing? What age do you think then?
I would like to say, since I could walk, my mom started like making me do piano stuff.
Nice.
Um,
And then,
but I want to say more seriously, like 6.
yeah,
I think 6 more seriously. Yeah.
nice. And then after that, anything else come in after piano at 6, or was it kind of piano all the way through? Like you said, you were in band as well and choir. So
I did trumpet. No, I hated choir. I think all band kids hated choir.
really, I love choir.
Yeah.
I was, but I can definitely get it. There is an aspect of it that let's just say there were a lot less choir kids than there were band kids. I think that's a good way to see it.
Really? I think we had opposite lives then. Right?
Really?
Yeah, because we had like double the amount of choir kids than band kids.
But was choir a class for you, or was it an extracurricular?
Um, it was both.
Really?
Because I was in all.
In all?
Yeah, there was like symphonic band, pop band with choir.
What?
Yeah, we had that. That was fun. And then jazz band.
What? This was at a school in California?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Would you say that? I mean, I never even thought about this, but like, I guess with California being kind of more, Hollywood located, Hollywood centralized, do you think there's a bigger focus on the arts in the schools that are in the California area? Or what do you think on that? Because my school did a great arts program, but I know from a lot of the people who I've spoken with who went to schools in surrounding areas, there definitely wasn't that same sort of focus on the arts.
It felt more like it was a dying breed. Like people weren't giving a crap about art
Interesting.
at all. Yeah.
Sad.
Because all the money was disappearing, and then people were just not. People were getting fired, like the band teacher and the choir teacher, and then
Oh
the
no.
new band teacher took over the choir teacher position. It was a mess.
Oh no. So then in what grade did you start trumpet?
That would have been 5th grade.
Nice. Did they
I wanted to play saxophone so bad,
Ooh.
but oh,
the way my school worked was, so did they have you did they force you to play trumpet, or was that your decision? I guess that's the question there.
I felt kind of forced. Like
Yeah.
they made you come after school in 5th grade and like either blow out of a hose
Mm-hmm.
or try like a reed.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried so hard with a reed and I couldn't do it. So I could do the hose though, and I was like, fuck, whatever.
Fair enough,
I'll just play this. What did you play?
so we kind of had the same sort of sitch. Grade 5, They actually grade 4 they started us on recorders. So you can imagine what a classroom full of 9-year-olds playing recorder sounds like. Just like screeching, loud, painful noise for hours on end. Grade 5, they then gave us, it was half of the year was trumpet, the other half was clarinet. And then grade 6, we started with more of a band, full-on band type of thing. And I wanted to do saxophone because my oldest brother played tenor saxophone in the jazz band and the concert band in the high school as well. So I kind of wanted to follow in his footsteps there. And yeah, so grade 6, you had to play one of a few specific woodwind instruments in order to transition into saxophone in grade 7. So grade 6, I actually ended up playing bass clarinet. And then grade 7, I got into tenor sax, and then I played tenor sax all the way through to grade 12. And
tenor's pretty cool.
Tenors, I love it. I managed to transition into high school. Grade 9, I joined my high school's jazz band as well. And like our jazz and concert band programs were like unbelievable, man. We did in grade 10, we did like a full-on Europe trip, and the group of our concert band. So there's the junior concert, senior concert, and it's grade 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12. I hope you don't listen to mine yet. And Tacto, we haven't. Don't worry about it, man. Not doing feedback for a little bit. But yeah, we the senior concert band, 10, 11, 12, every 3 years they run a trip to Europe. So the Europe trip happened when I was in grade 10. And we did Germany, Italy, and Austria. And we did like 5 or 6 shows around one was in like a little cathedral type of space. One we did for a small homestay, like school type of situation. Yeah, man, it was unreal.
That sounds lovely. We lived just different lives because we went on like a cruise.
What?
And played a cruise ship to Mexico.
That's so cool, man.
I got in so much trouble. That was the first time my band teacher, he actually called me an asshole in front of everyone and all the parents.
Oh no. Can I ask, were you being an asshole?
I mean, yeah. I mean, within reason.
Yeah.
So my friends, like 2 of my best friends died that year in a car crash.
Holy crap, man.
So I was like, and they were like, one of them was huge in band too, and I was with them since like the beginning. So I was acting out, but it was like small ways of acting out. Like I was gambling on the boat because I had just turned 18 and it's legal to gamble on a cruise ship.
At 18, I thought, especially in the States, it would be like 21, isn't it?
Well, we weren't in the States though. We were in
in Mexico, right?
So yeah, I was just gambling.
Here, wait 1 sec. Sorry, I got Elsa's biting on the cable here. She's Elsa. Enough. Okay, you're going.
They have cord protectors for dogs.
Yeah, I don't want her electrocuting herself by biting on any cables. Okay, relax, girl. Relax. But sorry, Mexico cruise ship. Did you guys just play one show on there?
Yeah, I mean our band was pretty crap because we had like. Why? We didn't have like anyone on it because band was dying in our region.
How many people were in your program then?
I want to say 20.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, for a symphonic. Well, it was a jazz band, so I guess it was more like 16-ish.
Okay, for a jazz band, that's much more reasonable.
Decent. Yeah.
Like our concert band, we would do the practices split up into 2 days. And I'd say like in the senior concert band, there was probably like 70 to 100 kids in it.
So, that's so nice. We had like 24.
Oh man,
it sounded so bad. Nobody practiced.
No, there were my class had this huge range of students and huge range of musicians. Where like one kid, Steven, he was playing for that Europe trip, grade 10, 16 years old, was playing Flight of the Bumblebee by memory on the flute.
That's such a hard song.
Yeah, like insane. And he also had like a gold-plated flute as well, like worth, I don't know, like 20,000 or something ridiculous. Um,
Yeah.
some other, just so many talented musicians. But the problem usually is that not to pick on the specific group of people by any means, but I know that a lot of the times with some of those with the I get so scared of mentioning anything that's race in particular because I know that it can come off poorly. But just from where my background was in my school, I went to a high school with a lot of Chinese kids, and so I saw how in the culture there was a lot of pressure that came from the parents, and
Oh yeah.
so yeah, and so like Steven and just kind of that group, there was a lot of incredibly talented Chinese musicians in my class, but they're not actually playing the music because they enjoy it. They're playing it because they're being forced into it so that way they can get into good universities and stuff. And then by the time they actually graduate, they kind of just stop playing their instruments. And to me, that's just so sad because there's so much talent there. And
Yeah, it was forced talent though. I mean, I'm Asian. I got some. I had a white mom though, but I've seen some like Asian stereotypes. They're actually just true in some like particular cases, especially with parents.
so what's your background then, both halves, if you know exactly?
Of what?
Like mom and dad. Because you said Marshall Islands, you said, but what would be like your mom and dad's skin tone, so to speak, if you know?
Uh, Adopted right now. They're white as hell. Or at least my mom is.
But your birth parents.
Yeah, I was. So I did 23andMe
Hmm.
because my girlfriend got me it, and yeah, it said Chinese, Marshallese, Taiwanese, like Pacific Islander mainly.
Interesting.
I made a joke. I was make a terrible joke with her. I'm like, it says I'm like 3% Madagascan, so can I say the N
Oh
word?
no. Oh no.
I never will, but
Yeah.
she always turns white, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it.
I'm not
She's
gonna.
white too.
Okay. Yeah. No. Then, as long as, yeah,
Yeah.
I've learned to stay out of that territory myself. I I think nowadays with how sensitive the world is in terms of most topics and most ways in life, I just try and I don't know if you can tell how I just very much try and pick my words.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah,
Well
it's important.
spoken at least. I mean,
You gotta do your best.
I grew up in like a really racist small town in
Hmm.
California. Like Confederate flags were allowed at school. Like they'd have them on like huge flagpoles on their trucks and
Oh man,
would wear them on their belts and shit.
oh man,
It's strange.
sorry, I got Yosiumi here. Hello, man. Welcome, welcome. I guess I'll introduce. Well, we got a quick hello here. We're just chatting here today with JustZAYLE over here. Zale's producer. Can I do a podcast? P man, of course, man. Yeah, the application is on the Discord. You're more than welcome to shoot one in. Yeah, Zale here, 23-year-old producer, great guy, having an awesome discussion here, and if you don't mind, while we're at it, not to switch it up too heavy on you, man. But I want to hear more about what you do in your music, what inspires you, and I guess I was gonna from there, Yossi man, thank you for the follow. I was gonna lean into kind of how do you feel, and do you feel like your background from your family influences your music in any way, or do you think your adoption and everything like that plays into how you express yourself now, or do you think that's something that you don't really think about in your process at all?
So yeah, 100% my family influences my music. I
Hmm.
I don't know if you know this. I don't
Probably
say it
not.
much, but about my cousin,
Hmm. I don't think I know it.
yeah, he's on Skrillex's label, and
Whoa.
he had a duo with Flume,
No way.
essentially. Yeah,
That's so cool, man.
I remember I started electronic music, and then my aunt messages me, and she's like, "Hey, you have a cousin on Australia that does what you do, but just better." I'm like,
But
oh,
just better. Ouch.
and I had his music on my phone before I knew he was family.
That's so
So
weird.
I
Yeah.
always felt inspired by him. I was the really annoying kid cousin, came out of nowhere that just messaged him all the time and said, "Oh, I want to like how does Skrillex how is he in real life?"
Yeah.
Like shit like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why I'm kind of afraid of asking him for stuff now. I still see him now and then when he's in the States touring.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just had some fake beef with Oliver Tree to promote their song.
What's do you mind if I ask his name?
He goes by, yeah, his name's Chris
Chris.
or Emo. I guess
Emo?
people call him Emo. It's like his middle name.
Emma. I don't actually think I've heard of him until now, but I'll need to look into that.
Yeah, he goes by What So Not.
What So Not? Okay. That's yeah, man, that's wild. Are you gonna when's the ZAYLE Skrillex collab coming in here?
Oh my god. So I met Sonny once in my life and
Yeah.
I 100% blew it.
Oh man.
His my cousin's lighting agent's brother gave me a an edible at a festival in San Bernardino.
Oh no.
And I ate it. And he introduced me to Skrillex. So I'm like, oh my god, it's like my childhood idol. I heard Bangarang, but instead I just stuttered hello, and he just walked past me. I'm like, that was it.
No,
I messed it up.
That was the first opportunity that set you up for the second opportunity. You'll be more prepared for the next one with a catalog of songs, and you're gonna be ready to sit down and chat with Sonny and be like, yeah, what's up, man? No big deal. He's gonna be the one asking you to do the collab. Don't even worry about it.
That'd be so cool. I did hang out with Chandler Riggs from The Walking Dead that day.
I don't know him.
He plays Carl.
I watched like the first season of The Walking Dead and then not the next like 15 or however many they're at now. How many seasons is it now?
Oh my god, it's like
many.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even watch it anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hung out with him.
Mm-hmm.
I smoked weed with Snoop Dogg that day.
What?
I met the Migos. Yeah,
What?
It was just a wild night.
What is going on here? I was not expecting all of this. This is like
I've done a lot, yeah. Like a
a
lot of festival stuff with him, and I've had some pretty crazy experiences with like I want to say celebrities in their thing. I guess they are.
Yeah.
They are.
What were the Migos like? Was there any meat to those bones, or was it just a lot of I'll just say from what I've seen of the interviews, I don't know what having a conversation with them would be like. Let's just say.
Do I look like I was left off a bad food?
Yeah. That was a classic.
It was okay. I mean, they were twigs. I've been to one rap show, and that was a while ago at Playboy Cardi. I saw him like a few months ago, but I just met them, and I was not impressed. They were just dicks. I mean, I get it. You're rich, and
that doesn't surprise
you're
me.
rappers. Yeah.
They're I feel like I think I've heard that they're all pretty tall. That's always the one thing that gets me is when you see somebody on screen so many times and then you meet them in real life and they're like 8 inches shorter than you and you're like, whoa, this.
I don't know. At the time, Quavo looked like a twig, like a breeze was gonna just blow him away.
Really?
And we'd never see him again. Yeah.
Really? Are they tall? How tall are you? I guess I'll ask that first.
I'm 5'6". Like I'm pretty tall for an Asian, but like I'm pretty average height.
Yeah.
If you put me up next to anyone else.
And how tall were they?
I want to say like near 6 foot.
Okay, so I'd match them. I'm like 6'1", I think 6'2".
Yeah, I mean the
Somewhere
hair kind of makes him look taller.
So who else? You had Migos, you had Snoop, you had Sonny, you had Sonny's and Skrillex. Yeah.
DJ Mustard.
I know the name, but I don't know.
Yeah,
him.
he's a huge producer. Deadmau5's Family.
Nice.
That was strange. I hung out in the lighting booth and it was New Year's. And they all came in wearing their fancy Las Vegas fur coats because he was dating some waitress at the time.
What?
They were mean people. I did not like them.
I feel like most people in the music industry nowadays are pretty mean in one form or another. There's I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
just super entitled.
oh yeah. I can say the closest to meeting, I guess, famous that I went through was Baby No Money.
Um,
He's a
no, I
Vancouver
can't say that.
rapper. He was the one that TikTok song that blew up. That was like, when I popped off, then you go gave me just a little bit of
Oh, and I
baby so
knocked
cold.
on.
She from
Yeah.
the north, he from the county. Yeah, he
Oh, Bobanos, isn't that his name?
Baby No Money, but
I didn't even know that. I
yeah,
thought it was.
yeah, no, he grew up in Vancouver, and so yeah, my friend growing up lived with kind of like the camera guy that would tour with him and help him out and stuff, and we bumped into or I guess my friend and I bumped into him in the street once with his other friend, and I don't know, I was just trying to ask him questions, but he kind of just like looked at me with this bit of like entitled type of thing, and I was like, man, you had one popular song on TikTok and now
Yeah.
you think you're the hottest shit in the world. And I'm like, the way in which we can take a little bit of popularity and turn it into a whole lot of ego. That's
I don't know.
hmm?
It shows the artists that are gonna stay and the artists that aren't.
Totally.
If you're not gonna be humble and like respect.
Absolutely. But that's not to say, I guess, that even, if you spend a portion of your career without humbleness, that you can't kind of rebuild or recreate your brand in a more positive way. I think
Like Takashi.
man, I can't even with that guy. Has he been rebuilding at all, or has he just been full on playing out the whole rat thing?
I mean, yeah, that was his buy-in, was him just saying, "I'm a rat. What are you gonna do about it?"
And like
He's still releasing.
rat pee. Like that's the thing, right? Is like, at what point does that actually kind of lose its grab and lose its hold to be able to keep people, in attention to you? I think nowadays, especially, like, for me, kind of what COVID did was it really created a strong P. I don't respect no rats. Fair enough, man. COVID for me really created this paradigm shift almost, in which a lot of the sort of negative influences that were created by artists and by all these things became a lot more apparent, at least for me. And so I find I'm just like, in terms of the artists that I used to give a lot of respect and a lot of time to, I don't really feel the same way towards them, and I'm really ready for a new generation of artists to rise up and kind of, be in a more positive and affirming space and create art and music that actually, helps one another grow. That for me is really like so much of this platform. And yeah,
100%. I mean, did you ever look at the J. Cole and Lil Pump beef?
no, what was that?
Um, so Lil Pump was calling J. Cole old and whatever, and they started making diss tracks, and then J. Cole made a song called 1985, and he basically laid out what happened to every one of these SoundCloud rappers that made clout chasing their livelihood. And it's like, you're
Right.
buying all these cars, you don't have a nice house, like
Right.
you're gonna become irrelevant, was just the whole gist of the song.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's true. It's the people that listen to them have grown up. They're not in high school anymore, majority of them,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, this is dumb. They don't want to feed that energy anymore. And you watch all these acts die. I mean, Smoke Perp?
Really only by name, not because I actually spent time listening to him.
Well, yeah, he was like a Lil Pump guy. He was selling sold out shows, but his last tour, like 2 weeks ago, had around 20 to 30 people at the venue.
Wow.
So it's called the 1985 effect, and it's just saying, if you don't adapt and you don't grow up, you're gonna be left behind.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, you're really like I'd say kind of where we are now was, you kind of think of the trends of music and how things shifted and adapted over time. And I think where things really started to pop off for me in terms of kind of hitting peak, maybe maybe this is a harsh word, but peak degeneracy was kind of when 2015 started to come around and trap really started to blow up. And you know, that was when like Metro was getting big, Migos started popping off. I think Travis's career started to blow up from there as well. But just like that whole scene, and then Cardi B and everyone, and there was just so much music that was coming out that was just so, it's just bad for people in ways. I don't know. I think it was fun. I think there was a lot, you know, it wasn't necessarily bad music by any means, but just this message that we were being sold of everything having to do with, you know, you kind of think of where that led into with Lil Peep, Lil Xan, Lil this, Lil that, and everybody was, you know, it's just drug culture just became, drugs and alcohol became, you know, glorified in this way that just like if you were suffering and if you were, you know, living this life of self-destruction, then for some reason you were actually better than everybody else. And it just, you know, I just,
it's such an oversaturated meme at this point. I don't know. There's still songs of drugs back in like, start dating from like before times.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. Right now it's just, it's very, as you said, it's very degenerate.
Yeah. Well, then, what do you think? What do you think will be in the future for music? Kind of, you know, yourself included. I hope ZAYLE will be included in the future of music. But what do you see for it, kind of going forward?
I think it's gonna turn into like more of a sensual side. I think it's gonna go back to its roots of more saying how you feel than what you're gonna do right then and there.
Stepping out of the sort of music being all about the commercial and the material, and more actually about the connection that it creates and the ways in which it makes us feel good about ourselves.
Yeah.
Or that it can.
I mean, I don't know. I could be totally wrong. I'm listening to these new artists that are on like YouTube trending, and I'm like, this is shit. Or maybe I'm just becoming too old and I don't understand it. I think that's a huge fear for me, but I think it's just bad.
But I also just think like when it comes to Google, YouTube, anything that's like a large major tech platform at the moment is also very heavily influenced by, you know, the people that want certain careers to take off and others not to.
Yeah, it's up to the label gods. I mean, I don't know who they're gonna put up next, but I really feel shifty about the direction it's going, and I really think that more real songs and switch ups are gonna be huge in the future.
Well, I'm definitely seeing. I think what the mainstream is gonna do, from my understanding, I don't know if you've heard of this new group Flow, FLO.
Oh yeah, I know.
The girl group. Yeah, I think there's gonna be this kind of pull towards kind of more soul-y style R&B, probably. Maybe pulling away from the intense trap hats and all that stuff and finding a more vibey production style. But I still think the central messages and the central themes are going to be negatively influenced. But I think there's going to be kind of that pull from that 90s era, and man, I mean, in that sense, I'm not complaining. I love the 90s. 90s baby myself. If I could go back to 96, I would be happy to. I think my background here is very heavily 90s influenced too. But I don't know. I think I just hope to see a positive future for music rather than something that's kind of, I guess, maintained by, you know, simply those who say this is what music is and not really allowing anybody else to have a voice or an opinion in that.
Yeah. I don't know. Spanish music has been taking off, and everything seems to be going in a more EDM route. At least that's what it's been like hinting at for years with all these productions.
My mind is like, I guess it's also interesting as well to see the different styles of music that come through the Twitch and kind of doing feedback. And I feel like most of the music that comes through here, it's a lot of, I guess, EDM style. It's a lot of rap. There's kind of some singer songwritery type of stuff, but it's very pop influence. And I feel like maybe and maybe this is something for you to play into as well, but I feel like something that's really missing nowadays is that actual connection to an instrument and the actual feeling of creating, alongside your instrument rather than just typing and programming everything in.
Yeah, it's definitely missing that more organic element. And
Mm-hmm.
also, I think I'm just sick of hearing the same like synth leads
Yeah,
and pads over and over again.
totally. So
The
do you,
same snare too, like drums included. I think Foley is gonna be the future of
that would be,
drums.
yeah,
Instead.
I would love that. I would love to hear. I don't know. I always feel guilty when I'm hearing people's drums and stuff, and all I want to say in the moment is like, please change your hi hats. I've heard this hi hat so many times, but at the same time, I got to maintain my level of positivity and be like, it's great. um, but I guess
Yeah,
it's finding a balance there.
I remember there's an old friend. He's not really a friend anymore. We had beef, but
Yeah.
he always told me that my snare was trash,
Mm.
and like, and he just said that every song after song. So I was like, fine, I'll just go out and record some Foley. Um, he ended up making that OK Boomer song,
Which one?
the OK Boomer song that was everywhere.
I don't know if I've heard it.
It was just such a huge meme. It was all over TikTok and everything.
Of course.
But I don't know. I looked back and I was like, I'm glad because I don't want to be known for like one meme song and then nothing
Hmm.
ever again.
Yeah.
That'd be a shameful legacy for me.
Well, did you find that? I mean, I guess in reflection, do you think that his take on the snare was actually correct, or do you think there was a little bit of animosity there?
I think he was correct.
Yeah.
I hate to admit it. I
Okay.
think he was totally correct. I
Hey,
think I was doing stupid snares.
yeah.
Um, and I record, and I'm so happy, like going around my house, getting out of bed, and
Actually
smashing things together.
making your own sounds. I don't know. That's creative. That's art, man. I love it. I don't think there's anything wrong with admitting that somebody else was right in terms of saying the snares were crap, because at the very least it opened you up to new ideas and being willing to try something different. So
Oh yeah,
if anything, kudos to you, man.
yeah.
So
This
then,
whole music thing is just interesting. It's been such a weird grind.
in what sense? Why interesting? That's an interesting one.
Well, I've been thinking about this career path for a while, and it's a hit or miss career path,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a really small percentage of it working out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because I want it to just be my job, and the only way I can do that is you can't really sell music anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That just isn't gonna keep you alive. You gotta do shows and merch,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been really hard to push these shows because it's like who's gonna buy into this fake genre that I made up on the spot, and I'm building my own market.
Hey, that's in a sense, all good art is just kind of a made up genre on the spot that just comes from our own space of flow. And I think, like, I kind of think of when I started the stream and when I was just getting things rolling. I wish I haven't seen Pojo around in a while. It'd be great to see him, but like
Oh my
him,
god, yeah.
yeah, him coming onto my stream and like saying to me, man, like, yo, let's talk. Let's just get you talking. Let's get you going. And prior to that, every day was just kind of, I didn't know really what was gonna happen. I didn't know what I was doing, and then all of a sudden this guy comes by and he just gives me the sort of inspiration and the hope to really kind of lean into a new direction on the stream. And I guess what I'm trying to say there is kind of that, it's one thing to make a show and really just want to have it sold out, and it's another to just kind of make the show to just be thankful for the few people that do show up. And
Yeah.
it's And yeah, music is such an interesting career path because I think it encompasses so much more than just music, and that's kind of what I've really had to learn in my process here of finding a so-called music career, because I thought for a long while music meant just making it and then putting it online. And then for a while I thought, okay, that's not working. Now I need to try the mixing stuff. That's not working, whatever else. And then you kind of realize, I guess, that underneath the music, underneath the product and everything like that is the person. And
Right.
and ultimately, yes, when I'm going to somebody's show, it's because I want to support them and listen to their music. But it's also because, when I'm going to a show, it's because I actually want to care about the person that I'm seeing. And
100%.
yeah, and I guess, in that sense, I can definitely understand the sort of confusion when it comes to the approach in a career in music. But I think, oh, bless you.
Thank you.
Of course. Um, but in a sense, I think a career in music is almost like, and a career in any art form is basically just like a path back to oneself, in that, the more you refine your own creative talents and the more you refine your artistic vision, the actual more of yourself that you become, because you become more confident in your sound, you become more confident in your style, you just become more confident in you, and then all of a sudden the music almost takes a back seat to just the person that you are, and people are like, not only is their music great, but they're an incredible person. And that to me is like the epitome of any artistic career, really, is more than what are you creating, who are you, and what do you represent. And so if I can, I guess, say anything in terms of the confusion towards your career, I'd say just like focus on yourself and focus on taking care of yourself. And for so many years I was like, I need a music career overnight, but I knew that I wasn't going to have any sort of career in music until I actually spent time working on myself. And it's that frustrating part of being like, I want my career tomorrow, but I also know that that's not possible. And yeah, man, I'm with you. The choosing an artistic path is so interesting, but also so challenging on so many different levels.
Yeah, I can definitely abide by that. There's just been like so much a lack of what's the word? Shit.
Inspiration.
No, not that. Originality. And
Yes.
just from that, I've been listening to a lot of originality from the current roster of huge artists in the world.
Totally. And it takes a lot of courage to be original, because being original requires being willing to stand out, and being willing to stand out means also being willing to take a lot of criticism until eventually people love to hate something. For some reason, we have this innate ability to hear something new or see something new and then immediately say, I hate it. And then a month later be like, okay, fine, actually, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe that was just my initial reaction. And then once I got to know it, that's why I guess for me, I just realized selling my music was so much harder than selling myself. I would rather show myself as a good, kind, caring person, and then kind of bring the music in after the fact. Because if there's an attachment to the artist, then so then maybe I'll ask you this, ZAYLE. Who do you think you are? Who do you represent within yourself as an artist and as a brand? So you can think on that one for a moment if you have to.
That's a hard question.
I like asking those sorts of questions to get you thinking. As I
said,
this ain't your casual style questionnaire. I wanna get you thinking deep, because man, I think these are the sorts of questions that really force us to take a look at our brand and force us to take a look at what we represent as artists. So yeah,
I
what do you?
think
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'm a one of a kind
Mm-hmm.
artist. Like not one like really underground. People always say they want to try and make flower base, but it's like you really can't. Like I don't ever tell them that. I'm always like, yeah, you can try, but you really can't because it's not. You lack my finesse
Mm-hmm.
and style choices,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's what sets me out from other artists is just my own taste, just like any other artist.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And
I,
where do these influences come from? What did you grow up listening to as well?
I'm a huge '80s fan guy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my favorite song on the planet is "Video Killed the Radio Star" by the
Nice.
Buggles.
That's a great song.
Yeah, that the Beach Boys, the Steve Miller Band.
Nice.
They're a little, not the '80s, but whatever.
Nice.
Cashmere Cat,
I think I've heard the name, but I don't actually know entirely.
amazing producer. My
Yeah.
cousin Flume. I love Playboy Cardi. Like that's my private
Your
musical love
guilty
right there.
pleasure.
Yeah, it's my guilty pleasure. I love Playboy Cardi. I don't know, yeah, and a lot of jazz music, like Chet Baker.
Nice.
I was deep into Frank Sinatra when I
Nice.
was younger. Anything moody. I write from my perspective and stories of how I'm feeling,
Mm-hmm.
which is how
As
it should be.
totally as any artist should. It's important that we're able to frame things from the way that we see them, rather than focusing on the way other people are seeing things, because that's their perspective, not ours.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I hear a lot of these songs of like driving nice cars, you're walking around with guns. Like, are you really though?
Yeah.
Like I just saw a photo of you. You live in a suburb and you're white as hell.
Yeah. I've caught a couple people on that. I've had some people come through who are flexing big stuff, and I'm like, can I ask you, is this actually what you're living, or is this just a full on flex? And sometimes I guess it takes being called out to really take a step back and kind of reanalyze what we're creating and how we're creating it. Um, so would you say that one of the most important things to you in your art is maintaining a sense of realism and maintaining a sense of who you are within what you create?
I feel like I'm giving people like more of a dosage of
Mm-hmm.
some sort of euphoria that I'm just chasing to get people to sort of feel with me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I remember there's a word for there's a word for black culture that I sort of aim for, but for me, and it's called Afro surrealism.
Afro surrealism.
Yeah,
Want to dive a little deeper into that for me?
yeah. So you ever watch the show Atlanta?
Yeah, but I
That's
only got halfway through the second season.
well, that's Afro surrealism. So it's like there's the feeling that there's something not quite right with the world, but through the eyes of black culture.
Right. Interesting.
And I do that just for me,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess through my interpretation of my culture. Because when I had a therapist way back, and he said adopted kids of different races like make their own culture, and it's called the third culture.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not able to uh, get super close with people as much as or as easily as it is for other people,
Mm-hmm.
because I always feel like there's something wrong, or I feel that I'm too different enough to fit in.
That's so interesting. I never would have thought about that.
Yeah, and I've sort of just accepted that. Like I grew up being called all the names in the book, and it's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'll just feed into that. I'm fine with that. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna be 100% me, and I'm not gonna let anyone put power over to change my mind.
As it should be, man. That's a beautiful perspective to embrace. I know a lot of people will go through situations like that, and instead of kind of maintaining a hopeful attitude, they'll kind of look at it as though the world hates them, and will kind of, And I understand, of course, with it you did have your own troubles, and that's just a part of the process as well sometimes. But yeah, man, just kudos to you for maintaining a positive attitude there, and for being able to, put a positive spin on it for yourself.
What about you? What do you think? Where do you think that you're gonna be going with the music scene? And what are you to it?
I'm myself. I'm a dreamer. I'm
That's
an
fair.
individual with I've got lots of hopes, lots of visions, lots of dreams for life, and I guess I guess maybe I'll kind of talk a little background of where the studio idea came from. In that, for so many years I was trying to make it in the industry. I was trying to, I didn't know what that meant. I tried interning at a music studio. I tried uploading music, getting it submitted to stuff. I tried working at a film studio, and I still just found like I was going in circles, and I just couldn't get to where I really wanted to be. And I guess from there I just realized that my space, not only just in music, but kind of in the world, had so much less to do with me and more to do with what I could do for others. And so for me, I think looking forward in my career in music, when I'm creating something, I actually want to think less about what I can do for myself and more on what I can do for my community. So that means like building a label, but signing, my community, and providing for them and helping them out as best I can. That means hopefully doing shows and stuff, hopefully doing mixing. I'd love a big dream of mine is to kind of set up like a stadium type of show with maybe like an open roof, and just set, amps like all around the room. And you just get this like super crazy experience of sound all around you with the stars above you or something. I don't know, but cool. For me, my life, I just want to have the ability and the access to be able to explore, create, have fun, do what I desire, which to me isn't that much in comparison to the people who need, 100 cars and 10 homes and all that stuff. I'm a simple person. If like at the moment I'm living in a beautiful home, but it's shared still with like 6 other guys.
Yeah.
And to me, at the very least, I've got a bedroom to sleep in, I've got the studio to work in, and I've got a bathroom to do my thing in. And outside of that, I'm happy. But then in my direction of music, it's just, what can we do for one another? How can we lift one another up, and just do cool stuff from there?
Honestly, from what you said, it sounds easier owning a house and 10 cars than setting up this Coachella in the middle of the field.
Probably, man. But nothing
it's a great idea.
Nothing's worth it without a little bit of a challenge. I think if it doesn't come with a little bit of hard work and effort on the side of it, then it's just not worth it to me.
It all boils down to money. Like work isn't.
It does. Unfortunately,
investors are so irritating.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever done anything with investors or loans, but it is tantalizing.
I am currently working my way through a loan through the process of building up the studio. So yes, I have been through the process of it. We got DJ Grimoire though. Hello, man. Doing good.
Hello,
we're just chatting with ZAYLE here. He's a great guy, great member of the community here. And,
you're great.
You're great. Nice. And,
I like that though. You're in a great position, I think, of where you're not really at a crossroads. You're just sort of flying above the road, and you can go in any direction you really want.
Mostly, I think I agree with that. only to the extent of how much money I have, which isn't that
Yeah.
much at the moment. In terms of
too.
like my living situation, all that stuff, it provides me with so much freedom. But I actually think that freedom, rather than it simply coming from a monetary space, just comes from a sense of kind of, feeling free within myself and feeling free within life, and not necessarily letting life tell me or others tell me what I can and can't do.
Yeah.
And I think I'll stay out of religious talks, but in a lot of ways, kind of in the process of finding more of myself and handing myself over to God and just being like, look, that was kind of the part when I started going back to Judaism and other things and really trying to find more of myself. I just got into it and I was like, look, I feel like there's so much more, but I just know that I can't tell anybody what that is. Kind of life has a bigger plan for me, and kind of surrendering to that, I feel like, is really where that sense of freedom comes from, rather than in a monetary sense.
Oh yeah.
That's kind of how
It's
I would
always
see it.
good to have a higher power.
Yeah,
As long as you don't force that higher power onto others.
of
it's
course.
fine.
Yeah, that's from my experience. Everybody has their own relationship with whatever they see as greater than them, and I found it in my own way. And I do think there's a lot of positivity in finding it, but I would never tell people that there's only one right way to do life and to live and anything like that. I think there's so many
Yeah, that's great.
possibilities. And so, yeah, for me, music is just about connection. Music is about community, and COVID really kind of shook that up in me, because I think I saw, after COVID and just with so much disconnect in the world, I saw this missing piece in the world of community and of people coming back together. And it was sad. And kind of inputting myself more into community was such a great way of finding more of myself and getting back to me. But shouldn't be totally about me, JustZAYLE. We gotta make sure that we're focusing on our guest here as well. What about you, man? What do you see for your future music? And real quick, DJ Grimoire, if it's okay, I have submitted a track on the Discord. Totally, man. We'll probably get to some feedback and maybe 45-ish to an hour or so, depending on the flow of the conversation here. But yeah, man, JustZAYLE, what do you see for yourself in music?
I don't know. I need shows. Do you know any production companies out in Canada?
No, man. My connections are limited at the moment.
Well, if you do, I'll be able to
10
give you
hours.
30%.
Sweet. I'll
I'm
keep
looking
you
at
posted.
Quebec, so I'm down to hit Toronto as well. That's what I need though, shows. Like, I don't know, I'm not good with communicating with my fan base. I don't treat them like trash, but our communication is trash.
That is JustZAYLE DJ. Yes, this is JustZAYLE. Why do you think you do that? Where's what's missing in the communication? This goes back to kind of JustZAYLE's brand and what he represents, It's
I just don't care about. I hate social media. I hate it so much.
I don't think many artists do like social media, but I think one of the toughest things that I've had to learn in this process of building my brand is that social media is whatever you make of it. It's in the sense that, like, there's so much bullshit on platforms, and it's just become this big cesspool of crap. And I think it's up to artists such as ourselves who hate it so much that we decide that we're going to change it. And so we start to create a new paradigm basically on the social medias of this more kind of, I guess creative platform that suits what we would actually desire from it rather than what it's become. That's kind of my thing. So if you had to do the social media outside of hating what it's become, what to you is social media? What would kind of excite you in that sense to be on it then?
Well, it'd just be exciting if I did anything exciting. It's more of a marketing tool than anything. Like
Yeah,
I can go through my photos and be like, oh my God, here's a photo of me in Costa Rica like
yeah.
from months ago, but I was here today, totally, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know. I don't want to post like, oh, I played Red Dead for like till 5 a.m. for a whole week and didn't make any music. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, but you can find comedy in that as well, and I think maybe like,
But yeah.
ultimately, it's tough. It's so tough to find our brand and to like single ourselves out, because like I guess what I get from you is like you're a super great, kind dude with a
Oh,
background.
thank you.
Of course, man, you're with a background of hardships as well, and these things that I think a lot of people would look up to and kind of see somebody who went through these hard times but also found his way to the other side of it. And to me, like, our connection to an artist is really, it's so much more than just their music. It's their history, it's their, it's their past, and then it's who they are now. And I think kind of building a brand in a way that kind of connects people to who you were and now who you are is such a special way of really bringing people more into your life and into your creations and into your creativity.
Oh,
So kind of, I don't know, I think I guess there's one way to see it in the sense of like, yeah, like I played Red Dead until 5 a.m. and that's it. But then there's also the sense of like, yeah, but I woke up today, I wasn't feeling too great, but I still maintained a positive attitude. And although I didn't get a lot accomplished, I still feel fortunate to be here and excited for what's coming tomorrow. And I think we don't necessarily have to do anything exciting to still create exciting and interesting content. I guess that's kind of what I'm leaning into there.
yeah,
So then,
100.
if that's the case, then what sort of stuff do you think you'd be interested in putting on social media?
Um,
And maybe that's something to think on as well. But I guess and the reason why I ask these questions, and I guess I'm not necessarily hoping for immediate answers, but I like asking these questions because I don't know. I want to see the successes of the artists in my community, and I think um, as each one of us develops and as each one of us grows, it only plays into the benefits of everybody else surrounding that individual as well. And so yeah, for me, I guess I I am big. I am the same. I post so little on social media. I need to find a better way into it. Um,
oh,
yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. I wish I was a lot better at, um, I guess saying how I'm feeling. I feel like I've gotten better at,
Mm-hmm.
besides my music, I'm able to write like little paragraphs on what it's about or the meaning of what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I have a song dropping Friday and I haven't made like a single post
You
on it.
didn't say anything.
I expect people to just know. It's like no, I'm not telekinetic.
No.
Um
Well, Zale's dropping a song on Friday, guys.
oh yeah, that's happening.
Yeah.
Because I already know, I paid for my promotion and everything, and I know I'm gonna get to the listeners, and
Yeah.
then I have more fans, and then my current ones would be like, "You didn't tell us this was happening."
Well, I guess it's also kind of like bringing people into the process. I think that's, usually when we're at the start of the process, I think of that new Kanye documentary that came out on Netflix, and he was
That
making
was
that.
great.
It was solid. I haven't finished the third part yet, but like, even so, he started making that documentary during the time of college dropout. We're
Yeah,
talking like over 10 years ago, he started making this documentary, and he knew from then to now that this was going to be a thing. And like, to me, that sort of a commitment is crazy.
oh, it was.
Yeah, I just,
I just remember all the rappers that were in the video in the first episode, and I was like, "Who?"
yeah,
Like,
I,
besides like Pharrell and some of them, but it was like a lot of the rappers that he had beef with, and
Jay-Z. in the hole.
Yeah, who's Jay-Z?
Who's Jay-Z? Who
Normal
are these
voice
guys?
to real? Do I sound like my singing voice? I don't think so.
Now that I've heard your voice a little bit, I can get it. I can understand where it comes from. But honestly, after hearing your voice, I had no idea until you sent me your Facebook link. I had no idea what you looked like, no idea who you were. I was like, I had this feeling that you were gonna like slightly look on kind of the more what was the word you used again? Not like my mind wants to say Filipino, but that's
Islander, just say Islander.
Yeah, there you go, Islander. I knew you were gonna kind of have that Islander vibe to you. I don't know why, but yeah. Outside of that, I had no idea what to expect.
I do. I'm very lazy.
Yeah. Hey, it's all process, man. Day by day.
My voice does not match the face. I've never sung live. I do like DJ sets, so I'm like,
really?
I'm wondering. Yeah, I wonder how people are gonna interpret that. Is it me just doing my falsetto, and they're like, "What?
What?" So that's all. Do you want to sing right now for us? Laserman, welcome, welcome. No,
I don't know what to
say. Yeah, those are some good notes, man. Is that all falsetto? Is there a pitched up at all?
Yeah.
Really?
No, I do all falsetto, like, oh, to light. Yeah, like that.
Wow.
I just sing high, and then I remove all the bass from my vocals, so it gives it a more airy feel.
What inspired the falsetto vocals in your music?
So I just got a girlfriend, and I was like, I can't keep talking to these female artists.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so I was like, I'll just sing it from now on.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, I'm a little guy.
Yeah.
Just don't need to put myself in. Back then, when I was doing like drugs and alcohol, I didn't need to put myself in any just bad situations. So I just started singing.
What about your regular singing voice? Is that something you ever kind of work with as well? Or I mean, maybe your falsetto is regular, but
it's sort of there. Like my normal like speaking octave, it's sort of there, and I harmonize sometimes, but I turn it so down that you'll barely be able to catch it because I hate it.
Why?
I just hate hearing my voice. Like,
yeah,
with my falsetto, I could pretend like I'm someone else.
Fair. That's fair. We all hate the sound of our own voice as artists. I've struggled with that myself. If you listen to any of my early stuff, my voice is buried as deep as it possibly can be. I don't know. Maybe that's something that's worth exploring as well, is testing out more the waters of your own voice to kind of see how that affects your music going forward. And I don't know. I feel like I can imagine you singing on stage in like a suit and bow tie, singing like with a piano accompaniment, and you got this like spotlight on you, and you're just nailing the notes and standing ovation. People are throwing flowers on stage. That's the ZAYLE that I'm also interested in as well.
A little bow tie? How'd you know I wore a bow tie? That freaks me out.
I got ideas, man. I see stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Half my fan base thinks I'm a girl, and I sort of buy into that mystery. It's like you could always just click on my Instagram, and see that I'm totally a dude, but I just think it's funny.
Totally a dude.
Sure, I swear I'm a guy.
Sure.
I got a dick. I swear.
I'll show you. I promise.
I'll show you on Instagram Live. Just whip it out.
Quick 30-second Instagram Live. Oh man. No, I'm okay. But I trust you. Thank you. But I don't know. I see. When was the last time you really sat down and played piano as well?
Oh my God, it's been so long.
Man,
I was jazz and gospel trained, and I loved playing like actual grands. I had a stand up. I have so many keyboards in this room with me since we moved here. But
how many? So many.
I got 4.
Whoa. Okay, that's so many.
I got is it there? 84 key? I think 84. Is that the
84,
number?
88, I think.
88, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot. And then I have a 34 then?
Yeah.
A 34 and then
37 maybe.
another 30 and then two more 34s.
I got, because my key step is one. How many octaves? This is 3 octaves, and it's
1, 2, 3, 4 octaves on this.
oh well,
One,
this
two,
is
three, 4, 5, 6 octaves on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 octaves on one.
this key step 37. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24, 36, 37 with the high C. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I have that. I have this really nice mofo from Dave Smith Instruments. We know
Mofo?
yeah, it's called a Mofo times 4 by Dave Smith. And
Like
I know the guy who makes this. He invented the Prophet.
what?
Yeah, he's like a brother of my dad's sailing friend.
Dude, what is your family's connections? What's going on here?
So my
Everyone knows
dad,
someone.
when my dad when he was alive, he was a sailboat navigator for ocean races. So he did around the world sailboat races for like Puma and Disney and Oracle.
Why do I feel like I've heard that before?
So I grew up around that. So yeah, I always had a feeling though. I was like, I probably have like a famous cousin that does music too, right? And then it actually happened. I'm like, oh,
My family actually dates back to Michael Douglas as well.
really?
Yeah, Michael and Kirk Douglas. I think that's where my chin kind of comes from. The whole dimple situation. But yeah,
Looking sharp, Aiden.
thank you. Thank you. Today
My
I'm wearing jeans today. Ooh, baby.
my funny strange thing. My
Mhm.
estranged grandpa
Mhm.
or grandpa was the leader of the Chicago KKK. So it's such a weird mix of
Whoa.
this family.
Whoa,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
That's
it's really strange. He was definitely hated. Like he hated my grandpa and my mom.
mhm.
So they didn't talk to him ever again. Like he was a abusive guy,
Wow.
of course. But
Yeah.
yeah, I felt that strange because my mom
Huh.
told me that when I was having breakfast with my girlfriend like a few months ago. She's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, it's like this."
By the way.
And
KK
like
girl.
she's like, "Yeah, I know he's rolling in his grave knowing I adopted a beautiful Asian boy." I'm like, "Hell yeah, he is."
That's wow. I can't say man, Zale,
I have
you've
controversial
surprised me
family.
with so many different little tidbits here and there. I love it, man. This is surpassed my expectations of a first guest on the stream here.
Am I the first
Uh,
guest
I
on the
think so.
stream?
Aside from Pojo back when he was first helping me out, man.
Oh,
And
I love Pojo.
yeah, I tried
Him and
reaching out to
Regine.
him. I don't know the other guy.
You don't know Regine?
No,
Oh.
I yeah, we gotta get the quiet studio on here. What was the name of it again? I need to
Quiet, I
quiet
think.
quiet studio. Yeah,
They're great. Yeah, you
yeah,
should. Portugal, right? I think they're Portuguese.
yeah. Oh, he's awesome, man. I will forever be grateful for that day that he came on to the stream and really just helped me, I guess, find a little more confidence on here. It was
Yeah.
you know, it's just such a blessing. Like so few people would take the time to find a streamer with 0, 1 viewers and be like, "Hey man, like can I help you out in any way to really, give you more confidence there?" Like that just forever grateful, man. Forever blessed. That's awesome.
That's better than what I do. I just join these one viewers. I'm like, listen to my song,
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah. See,
Nah,
that's
not
like
that abrasive, but
yeah. See, like I guess that's the thing. I don't know. I got a lot of anxiety. Being here for me is very calming for my anxiety. Sometimes it's very anxiety inducing at others.
oh yeah.
Um But yeah, going
We're
to
just
people's
talking to
streams.
strangers
Yeah,
online.
yeah. But that almost like, I don't know. I guess I enjoy the process of talking to strangers as well, because I think being here now, when I talk to people in real life, and just like today I went to a couple stores this morning before coming here. I had a meeting at the bank and one other. And like I found that I was just so I was it was so much easier for me to have a conversation, because I've just kind of had so many more conversations with all these different people. So there's so much less fear instilled in me in having these conversations. And it's more just like, oh, we're all just people who are, probably a little bit worried in our first time meeting somebody. But if we just kind of, open ourselves up to one another, then we're cool, man. I don't know. Do you think COVID kind of impacted your I think it did for a lot of people, but do you think it impacted your kind of communication and I guess connection abilities, just with isolation and everything that kind of came with it?
To be fair, I felt like I've always been sort of isolated. Like I would spend a lot of my time, don't do this. I was drinking a lot and then making songs and then driving around while smoking weed and listening to those songs, then driving back, working on it, then driving back out. So no, not in that regard. I feel like it's made me more socially woke.
Interesting. In what sense?
Especially with all like the Black Lives Matter and the plight for equality and lack of police brutality, because it's really bad out here. Like I've been stopped by the cops multiple times for my skin color.
Really?
And I'm not okay with it. Yeah.
In Cali or in Oregon now?
In Cali.
Oh.
We had really corrupt sheriff. Actually, the small town was called Grass Valley in Nevada City. And I don't know if you know anything about serial killers, but our sheriff was the Golden State Killer. If you ever heard of him. He got arrested like, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago finally. But he was known for breaking in houses, I think choking people and then sexually assaulting them, and he did that to like a few hundred people.
I actually got a fun story off of that one, kinda, not really. Do you remember Luca Magnotta?
Is he the don't fuck with cats guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you remember how he dismembered his boyfriend's body and then sent the body parts all over Canada to different places? Yeah. My school got the foot.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So poor old Mrs. Jones was sitting at the front office desk opening a package to a severed foot. That's
insane.
Yeah.
That ties in. Serial killers are a different breed.
Yeah. Well, they think that maybe there was a connection with another teacher at our school. I don't necessarily know if this is something I should share on a public platform, but I guess it happened.
It's over. The case is way over.
And I guess it's reported as well online. But basically, the teacher got arrested midday for being in a big child porn ring. And so they think there was maybe a bit of a connection there between him and Luca Magnotta or something. And yeah, man, and then there was another kid not in my class, but the year older than me, who actually murdered his dad over a Ferrari.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, his dad wasn't very present. That's also the issue with going to a very rich school with kids who have quite often no morals and no values for anything. Sometimes they pull some crazy shit like that.
I remember some dude got stabbed to death in his house at like a little party 2 doors down. I lived in like a elderly community, like with a golf course and a lake, so this was just so out of pocket.
Oh man.
And then there was also a dude that got cut up and put in a suitcase and left at a bus stop.
Okay, now this is getting too dark for me.
Okay,
I can't do it. Yeah. We're going.
I lived in a weird place.
Apparently, me too. Even though I'm only in Vancouver, I wasn't. Yeah. I don't know. Zale, any other thoughts on your mind, man? Anything else running around outside of the serial killers and the pains? What's
Oh
going
my
on for
god.
you these days, man?
I'm
What's in
I'm
the
a big
future?
animal guy. I
Yeah,
love zoos. That's like
you
one of
love.
my guilty pleasures is going to
What's your
zoos.
favorite animal?
Wombats. I got to work with them when I was in
Wombats?
Australia. Yeah,
Those
adorable.
those big old guinea pig looking guys. No wonder you had a guinea pig growing up. Two of them.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
was one that like bit a hole the size of a pencil through this dude named Pete's heel. And
What?
like a true-blooded Australian, he just grabbed a beer and he's like, "We're still going to the party, mate." I'm like, "What the hell, dude? Can you even
Uh,
walk on that?"
oh man. Do they have sharp teeth?
Oh, I mean, they have like buck teeth, but they like slice through and they bite really hard. They're like super aggressive. It's insane.
That's wild. That shouldn't be a thing. I think
Oh,
I've always been a huge fan. I mean, hey, the wombat has to survive somehow. So if that's how its teeth have to be in order to survive, then kudos to the wombat. Um, but man, I love at the Vancouver Aquarium they have sea otters,
oh yeah,
and
otters.
they're just the cutest, man. You know, otters hold hands when they fall asleep so that they don't float away from each other.
Oh, that's so
I
adorable.
know, right? Although I
We,
heard they're
we
also pretty vicious.
I believe that we had an exotic bird dealership like down the road from me.
Mm-hmm.
It sold like peacocks and ostriches because they protect from cougars and coyotes.
Hmm.
Dude had a tiger.
Mm. What?
Oh, I wish I was cool enough to have a pet tiger, but at the same time not, because I watched that Tiger King
Yeah, I was
thing
just
and I
gonna
was like,
say.
this is a little insane.
That's I remember when that came out, when that was a fad. That was early COVID, wasn't it?
That was like the first few weeks of COVID that
Yeah.
popped out. Season two wasn't that good.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be at that point. They're just milking it for whatever they can. It's like just this so many I can't do Netflix even anymore. Even when Squid Game came out and that show like popped off for so many people, I
I
like
like game.
I just got to the scene, the first competition where just like 100 people were dying all of a sudden, and I was just like, I this is way too painful for me to think of an entire show where the premise is based around how depressing life in society is, and people would rather die than just live in the world. It just felt so dystopian to me, and I was just like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I That's like I already had a hard enough time with like I Am Legend growing up. That gave me nightmares.
Oh,
Like,
that movie was freaky, and the
right?
the slap that was heard across the war.
Oh boy. Yeah, those are some real Hollywood shenanigans right there.
There's
I
Stranger Things. The new season's out, or
Yeah,
like part of it.
P is getting me to try and watch Stranger Things big time at the moment.
Have you not seen it before?
Nope.
Oh my lord, where have you been?
I'm so out of touch when it comes to most of what comes out. I just have no interest. For me it's like I would rather sit, put on some music and like be proactive with something than just like watch a show for 10 hours. I just feel like sitting and watching a show for that many hours just like it just feels like a waste of time to me.
Oh, then you have. I've had to watch Grey's Anatomy twice.
Uh that's how many seasons is that show again?
Let's see. I think 20 now.
Oh my gosh. Now they're still going?
Yeah.
Dude. That's
Wait, let me see. It would take to watch the entire Grey's Anatomy. It took me 272 hours, and I did that twice.
Can I ask why?
My girlfriend really likes the show.
Hey, you know what? If you're watching it with someone and you're enjoying, then touche. I
It's
can give you some credibility there.
just depressing. It's like, okay, they're gonna die,
Yeah.
and it's gonna make me really sad, and then we're gonna do it again.
No. I see the reason. I guess the big reason for me why I stayed away from a lot of the modern shows was that I found that most of them were central around the themes of like depression and death, and just kind of they just perpetuated so many negative ideas of life for me that I naturally had this inclination to just not want to watch them.
It just forces compassion for trauma. It's like,
Yeah.
is it realistic though?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't know. I would much rather be making my own shows that are, exciting, positively influenced, or a joy to watch, rather than just, sitting in my traumas and in my pains for hours on end. If I want to do that, I can do that in my free time. I don't need to do that while I'm watching a show as well, unless it's for the sake of processing it. Then
Someday I'm gonna have my own, like, I'll go back and do some videos from my older songs and some animations.
You should. That would be that's a good thing to note for your social medias.
I'll put those on. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
that would be sweet. Lots of people I feel like would be interested in seeing the process of that, and kind of getting the behind the scenes look at what's happening in Zayle's world.
Yeah, I think I sent you that video of it was a music video of mine that I did.
Probably. I forget
it. It was like a compilation of Snapchats. Yeah, that's as behind the scenes as it gets for me.
I'm forgetting it at the moment. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning. Not because you. It's just freaking puppies kept me up.
That's totally fair.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I wanna, for a little bit, maybe another 10 minutes or so, and then I'll ease my way into doing some feedback. If that's something you wanna stay on with me for as well, you're more than welcome to.
I'll stay for one song. I need to pump myself full of tea because my throat feels like garbage.
Yeah, no problem, man. Give your throat some rest if you need to. But yeah, man. Any kind of things on your mind that you're hoping to share, or talk about, music related, career related, life related? Yeah. This is the floor is yours at the moment, and whatever you got that you want to share, I want to hand it over to you for a little bit.
Well, I made Flower Base a real company. Nice. I paid for the agency. Nice. I've been thinking of merch ideas because I think that's a pretty big way I can make some easy money. Lazy with my website. I'm working at some retirement home right now, so it's really hard on senses.
I see. That's your day job?
Yeah, that's my current day job, and I only work weekends, so
dang,
it's not really that bad. I get a 5-day weekend. That's why I'm like constantly on Twitch and not really caring.
I see. Hey. Well, I guess if I can say real quick as well. I know the hardest thing to do is to create sort of rhythm and routine for ourselves, and it's so easy to get kind of caught up in maybe the sort of idea of I'll do it later, and kind of like becoming lazy with our product and with what we're doing. But I say, for me, I encourage you to sit down with your website for a little bit, make some merch, and pull it all together, man. And that, or not pull yourself together, but pull the whole brand together. And I don't know, I'm interested to see. I want to see more of what ZAYLE has to offer to this world and to the artistic realm. So just know I'm supporting you there, man. Benny Mussy, thank you for the follow, man. Welcome to the stream. And me balls itch as well. Yeet over young boy. I don't know what that means.
It's my balls itch.
Oh, there you go. I just got it. Thanks for covering me there. Hi, man. Can you react to a song, please? My man Benny, you can head over to the Discord. We'll be getting some feedback pretty soon. Just chatting with your boy ZAYLE here, and JustZAYLE, and yeah. But sorry, back to you. Opening up the floor for your last little bit here. What you got?
Well, dude, thank you so much for having me on. This is fun. I didn't know what to expect.
Me neither.
I've had some interviews that's like, what's your favorite color? And I'm like, I don't want to tell you that. That's too personal.
No, I think if you can tell by my stream vibes so far, I'm a very easygoing type of flow with the vibe type of guy. So I like to make sure that it's a comfortable space for you to just be able to express yourself. And man, I'm super grateful for you coming on here as well. There's no interview without the interviewee, man. So thank you so much.
Oh yes, man. Of course, we should definitely do this again at some point.
Definitely.
We'll write out some things to ask each other. I'm
Yeah.
down for that, like a sort of back and forth.
Sounds good. Yeah, what's your final pitch, man?
Listen to my music.
Check out JustZAYLE on Instagram. On what else you're on?
I'm on SoundCloud and Spotify. Anything that DistroKid allows me to be on.
There you go.
Let's watch Studio Raphael. He's good at what he does.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And Zale, dude, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for hanging out and just having a really nice conversation. And,
yeah. Now you know too much about me.
No, I want to know more. Let's say that. And I hope to hear more of it through your art and your creations. And I hope to, I don't know, man, maybe one day the Zale solo album comes out of just you and piano. Maybe
that'd be
that's
fun.
I think
just
that,
me and my voice.
I think that would be cool, man. Push you out of
as
comfort
it pays well.
Yeah, the money will come. Let the money come. Do it because you love it, and the music will speak for itself.
Fair play.
Yeah. Zale, thank you so much, man. It's been such a pleasure. Totally, dude.
Let's keep in touch, bro.
Absolutely, man. And Zale's new track coming out on Friday, guys. Keep an eye out as well. We'll have a listen. Yeah. We'll have a listen on Friday, hopefully. Although I'm gonna be playing Mario Strikers on Friday, so maybe we'll listen just for you. But yeah, man. Vibe out. Feel better, dude. And yeah, catch you later.